All right, so I got a good one today. This is one that it's a service style that I keep near and dear to me, that I tell new servers when they've never served before. Servers who have been in the industry a while already kind of know this. They might not have a specific way to externalize it, but they can feel it in the way that their tables treat them and through their past experiences. Just to begin with a personal story, I took my girlfriend to the library one day just to get some books, just to hang out and read, do whatever. Lazy day, right? I pick up this book. I'm into self-help section. It's called the 80-20 principle. It's also known as Pareto's principle, right? To sum up the whole book in a few lines, 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of the work you do. Period. That, you'll find that to be consistent throughout your life. You'll find that to be consistent through everything you do, pretty much. I found it to be true. 20% of the work will usually cover 80% of the results, and the other 80% is fine-tuning, right? It's getting everything perfect. And there's no need to get anything perfect if the 20% will cover most of what you're looking for. To give an example before I get into what I want to talk about, what is 20% of your job? 20% of your job is recording the orders right and delivering them to the table correctly. That's 20%. That's most of your tip. 80% of your tip is going to come from getting the order right, getting it to the table, making sure they don't need anything. Of course, being a server, there's tons of other work you need to do, right? But your tip really only comes from those two things, like producing sales and getting people out the door. All the other stuff is relatively minor or side work, anything like that. It's not really conducive to you making money, right? There's a mindset that I tell new servers when I tell them this. When I tell them about 80-20 and that 80% of their tips will come from 20% of their tables, a lot of them laugh. A lot of them don't believe me. But I tell all new servers, in addition to that servers work in a diamond mine, not a coal mine. It doesn't matter really how much you shovel. It matters where you shovel and how, right? Because we're not hourly workers, in a sense. We're highly focused on just a few things at a time. I make $2.13 an hour. I'm in Tennessee, right? But overall, I make close to $30 an hour because I work in a diamond mine, right? I shovel in specific places and I get rewarded for that. If we were hourly workers, we'd be working in a coal mine, right? Where coal is so abundant that you can mine it anywhere, and it just matters how long the mine is open. Diamond mines are a little different. You have to know where to mine and how to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to come home with anything. You'll have no diamonds. If 80% of your tips come from 20% of your tables, that means in a 5-table section, one of those tables is likely going to tip pretty big. Internalize that, think about that a little bit, pause if you have to. Feel out if you feel like that's true. Every 5 tables you have, usually one of them tips bigger than the rest. I personally find it to be true, right? There is an abridge to this rule. There's a standard deviation of 10%. What does that mean? If you're not mathematically inclined, that means that on the extreme end, 100% of your tips could come from one table. That's more likely that you came in, you took one table, you got cut, it's super slow. 100% of your tips came from one table. On the other end of that, the other extremely unlikelihood is that 50% of your tips come from 50% of your tables. Every table tips the same. So those two things are highly unlikely. Anyone that's ever worked in service will tell you that they're both unlikely, but they do happen, right? So it's rare, but it occurs. But usually 80% will come from 20%. Some people that I've talked to will say that it's more like 70-30. 70% of their tips come from 30% of their tables. You know, I can't disagree. That may be how their style rolls. That may be how they are. That may be how their service creates tips. But that's not it for me personally. The closer you get to 50%, that's more coal mine, whereas 100% one table is much more diamond mine. If you want to have the diamond mine like mindset where you work not too hard, right? You work 20% of your job, but you still get 80% of the results. You really need to find that table out of every 5 that you can sell to, talk with, connect with. Pretty much. This isn't saying that you neglect the other, 20%, and the other 20% being your other 4 tables, right? This isn't saying that you neglect them or don't bring them their things on time or let someone else run your food for them. That's not it. I am saying, however, that there one in five tables usually will be someone that you know you can get a fitty fat tip out of. You know pretty much for a fact that they're gonna treat you right, they're gonna take care of you, all that stuff, right? And to those people, those are the people you need to sell to, straight up. Push your ticket first. You're here for one thing, and that's to make sales. So sell alcohol, ask them if they want extra shit on their stuff, extra toppings, extra anything to bump the ticket up. I've already talked about making sales before, but I think that it's important that if you see the opportunity and you know they're going to treat you right, take care of you, sell them extra things. Sell them anything you can. Because if you have that feeling that, these are good tippers, you should go ahead and take care of you first. After that, you should really get to know these people that are your 20%. You should get to know not really who they are, but I guess get to know them on a surface level, a 5-minute friend type thing. Talk about them, talk about you, share a little bit, open up. Not everything has to be super professional. Of course, you're not gonna gush about your dog to every table. You're not gonna gush about your kids to every table. Not every table cares, but the tables that you connect with, they're gonna see that, and they're gonna, this server is interesting, cares, has given a lot to this experience. Little things, right? I'm gonna mix a lot of percentages for a second. We know that 1 in 5 is going to tip well, pretty much, right? But we also know that taking the order, putting the plates on your table is 20% of your job, right? The Diamond Mine mindset says that when you find your 20%, you don't just do the 20% for that table. You do the other 80% of selling, talking, and sharing, connecting with that table to make that diamond a little bigger. You polish it, you brush it up, you sweet talk it, you do whatever you got to do to get that diamond in your pocket, right? So for that one table, that 1 in 5, you do the extra 80%, all of it. You try to give them the best service possible, right? And after you sell and talk with them, it's good to find some common grounding, connect with these tables. If you can, find a common interest. Share experiences. If you both I love going to that bar. I love taking my kids to this place. I have also been to Colorado. I lived there for 3 years. I've also been to Panama City Beach. I partied there when I was 18. I can't remember a bit of it. Anything you can to connect with them. Build a rapport. Have that table remember you in some type of way, right? The important thing about the important thing about your 20% connecting with you is that that 20%, the people that you connect with, the 1 in 5, those people are most likely the people who are going to become your regulars. If they like your service, if they like your style, if they like who you are, they're more likely to come back in and ask for you. And what that does for you as a server is creates a more reliable income. You'll notice your tips will level out if you start remembering people and their faces and their things, like things about them. Oh, like you said your dog was having surgery. How did it go? Like anything you can do to create a personal connection with a table will increase the likelihood that they'll come back. Not only is that a good thing for you, your managers really like it, especially when you connect with someone, because that creates repeat business for the restaurant. You're not really gonna, you can't have a restaurant without guests. So you need to basically find your 1 in 20 and make sure that they want to come back and see you. Building regulars is really hard as a new server because you're more worried about, like, am I doing my job right? Whereas when you've been at a restaurant for a while, you can, you know where you can cut corners and slack off a little bit and really connect with a table so that they'll come back next time and ask for you. I've noticed, for the most part, that you're going to be in the coal mine for about 6 months, like, as a new server. But past the 6-month mark, you'll start really finding some regulars, finding some people who come to your restaurant that you connect with. And that's where you create your diamond mine. That's where you create your, oh, well, they come in, they spent $40, they tip $40. Like, tipping the bill, 50%. Oh, hey, they came in, they spent $70, they gave me 30. I mean, if you have 2 or 3 30s in a night, you're up to $90. I know for a lot of people that don't do, like, the standard restaurant thing, they work in a specialty place, your tips are going to be more or less often, that type of thing, whatever. Don't care. What I'm talking about is the majority of servers. If you have the inkling in your mind that a table is going to tip you well and treat you right and take care of you, it's worth going the extra mile and have them be your diamond for the night. That way, when they come to you the next time, that way when they see you, they know, they're like, oh, we're taken care of. This is about to be a great experience. We're about to have a good time. I think that the diamond mine mindset with serving is so important that, like, I wish I could talk about this for 30 straight minutes. I wish I could go into so much detail on this. I'm not really about to. I don't have the time. I got work. But it's important that it's in every server's mind that usually about 1 in 5 tables is going to be someone you can connect with. I would love to get feedback on this. I would love comments. I would love to talk about this, because it's something that I find so true that I base my entire service style off of it. I base that is the foundation of my service, is finding my 20% and running with those. I make about $130, $140 every night, but I'm telling you, pretty much $80 to $90 a night is, if I have 15 tables, it's 2 to 3 tables, just straight up, period. That's all I got. That's where I'm gonna have to cut it off. Otherwise, I would sit here and ramble for days. Please comment. Please give me your feedback and what you think. Obviously, this isn't going to work in high turn and burn and other, like, high cost settings where you have, like, 2 tables a night. But I'll be back with something else later. Probably not as important. Something probably like the uniform thing, but I thought this one was extremely important to get out.